Welcome to Popular Prosperity. The environmentalist paradox is the curious phenomenon where people who are least at risk of poor environmental conditions are the most outspoken supporters of radical environmental protection. In other words, people most likely to suffer from poor environmental conditions like droughts, extreme storms, and pollution are often least interested in environmental protection. U.S. News ranks countries on a large variety of factors, including how much a country and its people care about the environment. Caring about the environment involves aspects such as commitment to renewable energy and recycling, focus on public transport, and preservation of natural habitats. Let's have a look at the top countries caring most about environmental protection: Norway, Finland, Sweden, New Zealand, many other northern and central European countries, as well as Canada. What do almost all of these countries have in common? Clean skies, virtually no natural disasters such as hurricanes, floods, or severe droughts, and limited to no overall pollution. Now let's look at the countries least caring about environmental issues. These include wealthy Arab Gulf states such as Saudi Arabia and Qatar, China, Bangladesh, Russia, and India. Compared to the most caring nations, these countries not only have a higher rate of preventable pollution such as smoggy air, polluted rivers and lakes, as well as lower levels of recycling. Some of these countries are also more at risk of the adverse effects of climate change, such as extreme temperatures and rising sea levels. In a way, it makes sense that the countries caring most about environmental issues are the cleanest. If a nation's population and politicians care about keeping land, air, and water clean, they are likely to achieve it. This is not a paradox. The paradox is that the same super-clean countries, statistically, are also the least likely to be negatively affected by larger, non-preventable environmental issues, such as severe droughts and famines, rising sea levels, and hurricanes. Let's explore this paradox in more detail based on concrete examples. Germany has some of the strongest support for environmental issues in the world. Its Green Party achieves popular support of up to 35% in some cities in the country. Germany is already one of the cleanest countries in the world. Roughly 50% of the country's energy is derived from renewable sources. Germany properly manages close to 100% of its waste. Germany is also at little risk from natural disasters and the adverse impact of climate change. There are no hurricanes and few life-changing natural disasters. Compared to China and India, there is a relatively low risk of flooding. The majority of the country lives hundreds of meters above sea level and is thus not affected by rising sea levels. Average temperatures in Germany, even during summer, are relatively low, and the country has a large number of freshwater bodies from rivers to lakes. Similarly, Germany enjoys regular rain showers, without any indication of that changing anytime soon. When you ask the average German, they will tell you they are highly worried about environmental issues, and specifically about the adverse effects of climate change. That's right. People from Frankfurt to Munich, cities located hundreds of meters above sea level, with no risk of tropical storms, region-wide floods, or life-changing droughts, are among the most worried people in the world when it comes to environmental issues and climate change. Now let's look at a country that is pretty much the opposite of Germany: the United Arab Emirates, home to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Here, there is no environmentalist party. According to surveys, climate change is not a big worry of locals. There is not a single natural freshwater lake or river. There is virtually no rainfall. There are no forests, and hardly any vegetation unless you count desert shrubs and golf courses. 90% of the population lives within 10 kilometers or 6 miles of the coast. In fact, new apartment towers and hotels are being built as close to the ocean as possible. Instead of worrying about rising sea levels, people pay a premium to be as close to the beach as they can and don't mind arriving in a big SUV and consuming large amounts of non-renewable energy to cool down their homes. In theory, the UAE is at a much higher risk of environmental issues, including the adverse effects of climate change. It already is 30 degrees Celsius here during winter and 40 degrees during summer. The worst nightmare of a German environmentalist has already come true. No forests, virtually no free-roaming animals, and no freshwater bodies. And yet people in the UAE don't seem to care. On the contrary, more people are moving to the country than ever before. As it turns out, warmer temperatures, lack of lush nature, and limited to no freshwater sources can all be overcome by human ingenuity. Large-scale water desalination allows for water parks and golf courses in the desert, even if there is little to no rainfall or groundwater. Warm winter temperatures make October to May comfortably warm to spend outside, while air-conditioned malls allow for indoor leisure activities during summer. Similarly, the rise in sea levels is so minimal that investing in expensive oceanfront properties is not seen as risky. Now here is a question for you. Why do you think are people least affected by environmental issues, more concerned about the environment? Why do people living in cold climates, 500 meters above sea level, care more about environmental protection and climate change than people literally living on the edge of the ocean in a desert? This is the Environmentalist Paradox. If you have an idea or answer, please let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and would love me to make more like it, consider supporting me on Patreon. I like to cover more controversial topics on this channel, and viewer support is the only way to make this happen. Thank you for watching.